How's it going, everybody? I wanted to put together a short edit before the rest of this post-race podcast of round 2 EROC at Lisbon. That was the Lisbon log hopper. So I wanted to let you guys know that each video is going to be slightly different. People were sending me pictures and videos, spectators and fans from the races, and I'm able to put together some cool little edits for you guys to watch. And then on this one, I talked with a friend of mine, Strouble, who is also a competitor, and we BS after we talk about the results from round 2. So in this video, I also wanted to include Team Moto Zili's results. So Team Moto Zili came out swinging again. We had 3 podiums. We had a first, a second, and a third, and we had a 5th and a 6th on the day. So some more solid results, and obviously we want to improve on those moving forward. But anyway, those of you who came up to me at the track and said that you guys are digging what's going on here with these videos, I really appreciate that, and hopefully they get better as we go. But we will catch you guys at round 3. That one is area 330. If you guys need more information, go on erocracing.com or just search EROC on social media. We'll catch you guys soon.
Awesome. And a really cool thing to see teams coming in. A little rivalry between the teams. I love it.
When you squeeze, dude, it's like light.
Stay right there.
Cyle Strouble. I'm going to do a quick intro of you. I wanted to have you on because we became friends through racing with EROC, or racing the EROC series. And I think possibly before I really knew you, we had some wheel-to-wheel finishes, which was awesome.
Yeah, that was in the
Moto
Cross Country series, or
Yeah.
Moto X series.
Yeah, Moto XC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, grab your mic a little bit. It's a little bit too far. But, yeah, I think if I remember right, I think you bested me the first one. And I mean bested me by like hundredths of a second. Like when we came through, it was like beep, beep. And then...
Was this 18 or 19? What year was this?
This was probably 18.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the same thing happened the next year, but I got you.
You did.
You finished right on my rear wheel. And that, I think we just started talking at the races. I'm not real sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought you were a cool guy, and we got to know each other a little bit. And, obviously we're going to get to know each other more today. But, and I do want to, later on we'll talk about, you have a family business, right?
I do.
That's pretty cool, and we'll get into that too. But before we get into chewing the fat too much, we're going to go over results of the last race, which was the Lisbon Log Hopper. We're going to give the top 5 finishers for each class. We're going to plow through them, and I apologize to the parents out there that want us to elaborate on their son or daughter's finishes or whatever. But first of all, we don't have the time because that's a lot of classes.
There's a lot of people. There was, how many riders was there at big bike
Total?
riders? Was there 400 big bike
There
riders?
was 364 big bikes. So
But yeah, total.
we know that because we're bike racers.
Right.
But now you could just assume what the total day looked like as far as numbers. It was huge. It was definitely every race they have so far, they've been breaking records. Like people just keep showing up.
It just keeps growing.
Yeah. So I'll start off with Youth Quad Senior, it looks like. And this is the hare scramble. So we only have 4 people competing for this championship. And so far, this is overall points. Okay. So Lisbon Log Hopper, it looked like, if I am reading this correctly, I hope I am, but first place went to Amir Desselman, if that's right. I hope that's right. Second went to Grace Bender, and third, Austin Harshbarger. These names can be tough.
I'm going to pull it up on my phone, try to help you out, but I'm not promising anything.
Yeah. So, that was the top 3. And that was the last race. And we're only going to cover the last race. We're not going to talk about overall points or championships or anything at this point.
Right.
So we're going to move up to Youth Quad Sport, hare scramble. And there seems to be a lot of these guys. So, yeah, quite a few.
17 of them, yeah.
And it looks like, if you're looking at what I'm looking at, where it says Lisbon Log Hopper, it's not an order. Is yours like that? It must be their finish.
You got Jam and Brown for number 1 there?
Yeah, first place.
Yeah.
Jam and Brown. And then second, it looked like it went to Andy Hovis. Does that look right?
Yep.
Okay. Third, Braylon Preston. I love that name, Braylon. I think I said that last time we had this podcast because that was one of our boy names when we were expecting.
Right.
And then fourth was Colton Redman. And fifth, Lexi. Go for it.
Well, you skipped Trip Marino. Did you see that one? No, that was 5.
No, I went to 4.
Oh, okay.
First, we went. Second was
Maybe mine's...
Andy Hovis. Third was Braylon. Fourth was Colton Redman. And fifth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, wait. No. I went to 6th. You're right.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
fifth? Oh, way down here.
Yeah.
My bad. Trip Marino.
Yeah, that's what I see on mine. Trip
My
Marino.
bad.
Don't leave Trip out. Come on.
Okay. Well, Lexi since we mentioned her.
There she goes. That last name I'm not even going to try, but
She was one off the top 5, but she got mentioned. So
that's all right.
that's no worries at all. But top 5, we're going for it. And I'm going to go to Youth Quad Junior. All right, let's see if we can make sense of this. Bryce Bender, first place. Second place was Race Blaney. I wonder if that's the Blaney, the sprint car Blaney's.
It's got to be.
Has to be. Third place was Brody. That's another name I love. Brody Hoon. And fourth place was Carter Hayes. Where's fifth?
Tyler Davis?
There you go.
Gotcha.
Tyler Davis. Top 5, that was Youth Quad Junior. This is so much easier on a laptop. I can't believe
sure.
Gosh, I can't believe I didn't do this the last time. And
Where you want to go to youth bike or?
oh, that we got out of the youth quads. We're all done with those. Okay.
Yeah, there was 3 classes. For
Okay.
that.
So, yep, we're going to go to youth bike hare scramble. And we're going to start off with youth bike trail. Ooh, looks like a girl got the win.
Nice.
Michaela Patton. Second place was Brandon McCoy. Third place, Maddox Vilwalk. Fourth place was Damian Pitts. And Justin Myers in fifth. Trail bike. What's trail bike?
Is it like a CRF 125, TTR 125?
That's what I'm thinking.
Something like that?
That's what I'm thinking. They must have like a air cooled, I bet.
Yeah, it's probably air-cooled bikes. That's what I would guess, too.
Yeah. Youth bike senior hare scramble.
A lot in this class here.
Okay, so the winner, I saw this name, I believe, last time, and I've heard this name. So as we do this, we're going to get more familiar with these names. But Kean Rupp took first. That's 2 wins for him. Second was Garrett McLaughlin. Does that sound right?
Looks good to me.
Joshua Verrill the second and third. Fourth place was Matt Alston. And where's fifth? You're my... Oh.
You still don't... Oh, wait. I just clicked out of it because I thought you were going to get it. This is youth bike.
Drew Crompton.
Yes.
Yep, Drew Crompton is fifth. Yeah, you got to... It's probably a little tougher for you to navigate.
A little bit.
Where were we? Okay, so we're now in Youth Bike Junior.
Yes.
All right. Tucker Kenry in first. Why don't you do a couple?
Second, Colin Waddle. Third, Chris Britton. Fourth, Colton.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good luck with that one.
See, this is why you had me do this one. Colton.
Mach.
Yak.
Mach.
Yeah.
Mochtiak. Yeah, because there's a T in it. Mochtiak.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with it.
Fifth, Cooper Stickley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. There's your top 5 for Youth Bike Junior Hare Scramble.
Moving to Youth Bike 65cc.
Yep. Oh, let's talk about 65s. I own a 65 that, dude, have you ever ridden one?
They rip.
I can't believe parents put kids on these things.
I was thinking the same thing. Would you want to put your kid on these things? That's why they slam so much gear on these kids. They're like
Oh my
shoulder
God.
pads, elbow pads. It's like, I don't blame them.
I
These
would just,
bikes.
Yeah, if it was my daughter, I'd put her in a bubble.
Yeah, like what, a 40 or 50 pound kid's getting on these bikes and you ride them, you know, it's like we're full grown men riding these things.
Oh
We're
my
like,
goodness.
oh, geez.
I can't believe how violent those bikes are. Unbelievably
And
fast.
when you see a kid that actually can ride one of those bikes to their full potential, like on a motocross track even, and the jumps they can hit and what they can do it's unreal.
It's discouraging. You just want to quit. You just see this kid like absolutely railing on this little 65 that, like, I heard, and I don't know if this is true, somebody can fact check it, but I heard the power to weight ratio of a 65 is the same as like a KX 500. I believe that.
Pound for pound?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I believe that. Oh, here we go. Brooks Boley. Oh, that he was third. Okay.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
podiumed, though. So Maddox, Hudnall. Crap, I'm sorry.
That's better than I would do, probably.
Yeah, we're getting there. Okay, you do the next one.
Yeah, of course. Dino Macano Nako.
If everybody could just change your last name to Smith, that would help us out.
Yeah, John Smith. We need that. But third, he said already, Brooks Bully. Fourth,
Yep.
Kyle Crompton. And fifth, Nathan Myers.
Okay.
Rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, we got to get some announcer voices going on. Rounding out the top 5.
That's good. So you actually do, like, while we're sitting on the line, while you're, like, the rules and stuff, that's you talking, right?
That's me talking, but I'm not doing it live.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, because I
Yeah.
look back and I see you in the row behind me, and I'm like, that's him, but I didn't notice it till the second round. Like, we'll get in that later.
Yeah.
Whatever. I just want to.
Yeah, that somebody else.
Sounds so good because it's like an announcer voice. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's Brad.
Yeah. So I just do a recording for him, and it's cool because it takes some pressure off of those guys, so
Right.
they don't have to be down there running through all these different things.
Yeah, which it almost sounds live, but it sounds good at the same time. And yeah, like
Yeah.
they can just play that and like get whatever else they need ready. And
It's a disclaimer, and for the people that need information, like I don't remember if I talk about the color of arrows or anything, but all those things. Passing, that's something that we can talk about again today too, because we can't talk about it enough.
right.
Passing is something that everybody needs to learn a little bit about in order to be safer on the track. But we'll get into
we
that.
get into that later.
So where are we at? Youth Bike 65s. So we're going to go back out of that and go into Pee Wee Quad.
Yep.
Pee Wee Stock Quad. This stuff I love. I wish everybody would have like a bone stock. You have to just pull it out of the dealership and race it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think I seen a kid with like a mini Grizzly. It had like racks on it and stuff, and I don't know if that was this class, but it was like a Pee Wee utility quad, and he comes hauling through the woods. I was walking the track, and I was like, "That is awesome."
Could you imagine the suspension or the lack of suspension on that thing?
Oh yeah, but I mean, he was cruising. He was doing all right.
Nice. All right. Peyton Dieter, first place. Jack Jacobs, second place. And this is Pee Wee Quad Stock. Third place was Zane Sterling. And fourth was, we went through this last time. Is that Stephen? It has to be Stephen. Stephen.
I don't know where you're seeing that. Mine says KJ Koberdak
And
fourth.
for fourth?
Yeah,
In Pee Wee Quad Stock.
yeah. It's like ours are different results or something. Yeah, mine right. Yeah, Pee Wee Quad Stock, because you read those first three. They were the same. Zane Sterling, then KJ Copperdack, then fifth Drew Tomczak.
You had the right name. That's weird.
Yeah.
Copperdack. Coperdack? That's what you saw? Koperdak?
Yeah, for fourth.
See, mine says Stephen is the first name. But,
Yeah.
hey, I'm assuming that
This must, like the mobile version and desktop version must be different or something. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully it's the same person. And so we covered 1 through 4, and fifth was Drew Tomczak. Pee Wee Quad Stock. Okay. You can take Pee Wee Quad Open.
Pee Wee Quad Open. Looks like there was just 5 riders. In first place, Deegan Weibel. Second place, Clinton Wilson. Third, Jared Prevost.
That looks
I
good.
think. Yeah. Fourth, Logan Trimble. Rounding out the top 5, Kendall Redmond.
All right. Pee Wee Quad Open. That was that class. And Pee Wee Quad Junior, we had 3 competitors. First place was Braxton Sterling. Second place was Jacob Stringfield. And third place, Kia.
Pancake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wish I had the last name.
It's my favorite
Pancake.
name yet.
I'm telling you. God, did you just get hungry? If you hear my stomach rumble through the microphone, you know why.
That was Pee Wee Quad Junior, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're moving to
on.
Pee Wee Bike. Pee Wee Bike Senior. Now, Pee Wee's like the smallest one. I got to learn these smaller classes.
There's so many classes.
Mm-hmm. Brody McLaughlin in first. David Grimm in second. Third place was Ryder Manley. Fourth place, Trevor Snyder. And where's fifth?
I see fifth, Bryce Lees.
Yep. Confirmed. Okay.
And PV Bike Novice.
Yep.
Moving on.
Go ahead.
Top 5, Dino. Oh, I've seen this name before. Mekoanako.
Macamanako.
It's like Monaco, yeah.
Macamanako.
Second, Trevor Mitchell. Third, Maddox Hundle. Fourth, Hunter Cross. And rounding out the top 5, Danny Badar. Well, fifth and sixth both have the same last name. They must be brothers, yeah.
I'd say
Badaracco.
I'd say that's Badaracco.
Yeah.
Cool.
That'll do it.
Pee Wee Bike.
Pee Wee
Novice. So we're going to junior, Pee Wee Bike Junior. First place was Grayson Glover. Second was Josh Ernie. Excuse me. Third, Mason Orr.
You know him?
He's my cousin.
There you go.
My little cousin. So I'm going to give a shout out, shameless shout out to some family. Mason, this was his first podium, and my cousin, which is Mason's dad and his wife, Maria, they were over the moon, dude. Because
Is it Chad?
No.
Oh, it's
my cousin Dustin, which is another racer. Dustin was
there's all kinds.
Yeah, Dustin was a real fast quad racer. He was battling for overalls back, let me think, I don't know, a decade ago or something, but he would battle for local overalls on a quad. Yeah, he was very good, and he's threatening to come back out, but it's hilarious because I keep nagging him. I'm like, come on, dude, just do it.
Right.
But, yeah, Mason kicking butt. I love seeing that.
Awesome.
So, there he is. Okay, so fourth place, Race Manley. Race. R-A-Y-C-E. That's sweet.
Yeah,
That's a cool
fitting.
name.
Yeah.
Race Manley. And fifth place was Bryn Bully. That must be another one of my friend Matt's kids, I'm thinking. I never got to know his kids. So that was your top 5. Pee Wee Bike Junior. So that is going to segue us into the adults. So, the adults, things get, this is the premier stuff. This is what all these kids, this is where they top out. So, adult quad, holy smokes, we have a lot of classes. We are going to go top 10 overall or let's just do top 20 overall.
Okay.
Instead of all these classes.
Because I was getting another beer because I seen all the classes there. I said, it's going to be a while.
Hey, man, I don't know. What do you think? Do you want, and people,
no, that's fine.
People
let's
can comment, too. Like, if they think that it's cool to listen to the top 5, I have no problem doing top 5 of every single class. You know what? Since we're on the roll, we'll just keep doing it. Utility 4x4. I'll take this, and you can take the next one. We'll start switching again because I lose track. So, Corey Treblecock. And the Treblecocks are the property owners down there. So I'm assuming that's a relative.
Well, big thanks to them.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I loved the property, and I loved that track.
I've raced there a lot. I've probably raced there more than, close to 10 times. And, yeah, it's always something different. And
I think it's only been about 3 for me.
Yeah.
But they did a heck of a job. Billy Farmer and Aaron. I don't know who else may have set the track up, so I may be missing some people, but I gave those guys major props. That layout, for me, everybody likes different stuff, but I thought that was a lot of fun. And we can talk more about that when we get into our races. But first, Corey Treblecock. Then Billy Crinner in second. Third place was Bruce Blaney. 4th, Adam Hayes, and 5th, Lionel Treblecock. And that was utility 4x4. So Lionel, I know he likes to play with some pit bikes. I was trying to get him and some of his boys to the race. So
Yeah.
maybe a little shout out on YouTube will stoke the fire.
Right.
Bring some people over. It's my race over at my house on these little minis it's a lot of fun.
I've yet to show up. The last 2 years you've invited me, or people have invited through you and stuff, and I've yet to show up, and I want to come every year. Hopefully this year I can come.
And that happens every year. Unfortunately, like, people make plans ahead of time, and it is what it is. Like, people have their summers booked up, and I get it. But I've switched the dates for, certain people. Like, hey, like 10 of us will be there if the date's different. So, but I tried playing that game, and it just
can't work for everybody.
Yeah.
Are we moving right to XC Pro?
Well, that's not fun.
No, we got to save that for last, right?
Right, absolutely. So, yeah, go through. So we're going to go.
Want to go to 3C?
Start at the top. Super
Okay.
Senior.
All right. Super Senior 50 plus.
Mm-hmm.
3 riders. Top 3, Todd Fence.
I'm going to say Feutz.
Feutz. Yeah, that. Okay.
Feutz. Feutz.
Todd Feutz with the win. Then second, Jeff Feutz.
Nice.
And third, Terry Brooks.
Maybe some family rivalries going on there.
Oh, yeah.
And quad, senior, plus 40. This is getting into my territory. Maybe if I get on a quad one day, I'll go mix it up with these guys.
There you go.
Rick Severs with the win. Second place was Jeff Davis. Third place was Rick Marino. Fourth place was Mike Ruckdeschel. And fifth place was Nick Wilson.
Nice. Moving on to quad sport. Top 5.
Yep.
First, Max Payne. Second, Logan Snowd. Third, Jared Zavek. Fourth, I think it's Caitlin Harsbarger.
Yeah, I think there's a typo.
Yeah, it looks like a typo.
Mm-hmm.
Rounding out the top 5, Seth Bradford.
All right. Yeah, we're getting through these pretty
We're
good.
moving.
So we're at vet 30 plus. Did you just do quad sport? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. So quad vet 30 plus was here we go. Ben Dunlap, number 1. Number 2, where you at?
I see Dave Price.
I know that name. I don't see. Oh, there he is. Okay, my bad. Dave Price, number 2. Number 3 was Amy Dunlap. Congrats on a podium. I love seeing girls up there mixing it up. Unless that's a guy named Amy. Who knows? Probably a girl. I don't want to discredit anybody.
Either way, congratulations on your top 3 finish.
Absolutely. Luke Bender on 4th, and 5th was Nick Miller.
All right. Okay, so you want to go to 3C, or do you want to go just right down to 1A?
Yeah, let's do that. 3C.
3C.
Mm-hmm.
It's not loading. Okay, there it goes. All right, your top 5 for 3C. Mitchell Crillo.
Mm-hmm.
Second, Jackson Lutz. Third, Robert Bidwell. Fourth, Austin Miller. Rounding out the top 5, Michael Reed.
Nice. And XC2B. You were in XC3C, right?
Correct, yeah.
So XC2B. First place was Ethan Helbig. Second place, Colin Brooks. Third place, Stephen Burt. Fourth place, Corey Pancake. Another pancake in there.
Oh, yeah.
And fifth, Blake Norman. Your top 5 and QXC2B.
All right, so moving to XC1A.
Now, just so some people understand that don't know all this lingo, these classes get divided up by engine size and by talent. So the bigger the quad or the bigger the bike, there'll be different class designations. So XC1A or Q, which is quad, I think. XC1A is the biggest quad and it's supposed to be the fastest riders
For the amateur.
for amateur, for
Overall.
non-professional.
So this should be second row, correct?
Should be.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to try this. First place, Travis Enderl.
Enderell. I think.
Enderell.
Yep.
Second, Keaton Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Third, Dirk Deckenshire. Share?
Decasser,
Sorry.
I think.
Fourth, we got a female, Jessica Elif.
Elioff. So
Elioff.
Jessica was in XC1A. I got a hold of her, and I'm hoping to have her on the show. Jessica is a national rider, and I don't know much about I don't follow quads closely. I don't really follow too many things closely, but that's the cool thing is I get to have people on and ask them questions about what it is they do. But that girl overalled she overalled Crow Canyon.
She beat all the guys in the amateur overall.
All the dudes.
That's nuts.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and for quads, I mean, like, they basically do the same track we do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for the most, I mean,
yeah, for
and
like
some
99%.
Some of the stuff we go through, I have appreciation for these guys. I'm like, going in between some of these trees and the hills, and it's like to take four wheels through some of these things is pretty crazy.
Not only that, but how about the mud? Like, and this wasn't, I would not consider that a mudder by any stretch of the
No.
means. But there was a couple sections that blew out. Like, early on, I was like, this is going to be amazing.
Right.
And then, oh my God, the surface water that, like, just came up.
It was like just after the second into third lap, it was the section where the creek come down through. And, every lap you come through, it was, like, completely different and just getting...
It was right before the creek. Well,
there was a little water runway.
I think it was the same stream.
Yeah.
Because we cross over it twice.
You crossed it one up and then crossed it back down.
Yeah. That whole section got nasty.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So where were you?
We'll talk about that later. But, that was number 4. So, number 5, Devin Lippincott.
Nice. All right. And we are going to Pro. QXC Pro.
We had some heavy hitters come out
Holy
for the Pro.
smokes. We had a lot.
Oh, yeah. What was there? Is there 3 pros in the top 5? Or I don't know.
You mean like GNCC Pro?
Right, like national pros. But these guys, I mean,
Cole Richardson.
It's crazy to see some of these names at,
Cole Richardson with the win. He's a top GNCC guy.
So fast, yeah.
Second place, there we go. Josh Merritt, also a familiar name to me. So if I know these names, they've been brought up a lot. Kevin Yoho, I've heard of plenty of times. Fourth, and he was third, and then fourth place went to Ronnie Rush, and fifth, Johnny Gallagher, who I think most people know Johnny because not only is he a good racer, but he's an excellent, what do you want to call it, announcer?
He does commentating
and announcing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he does commentating for the big bikes at the National
GNCC.
Series. Yeah, so
that guy's great.
You've probably heard his voice before.
Yeah, he's really good at it, man.
Yeah, he's been a part of the sport for so many years. I've actually met him a few times, and good guy.
All right, man. That was your quad. So now we got to go to bikes. Adult bike hair scramble. Oh my goodness. Yeah, next time we're just doing overalls. Oh my goodness.
Just who won? Who won the race? That's all. That's all that matters.
You ain't first, you're last. All right, we might have to zigzag around this one too, but you could take it from wherever you want. You want to start from the top?
Yeah, let's do Advanced Senior 50 Plus A.
Okay.
And I just clicked the wrong one, but okay, I clicked the wrong one again. Okay, here we go. All right. First, Jeff Johnson. Second, John Vincent. Third, Mark Sherwood. Fourth, Tom Derby. And fifth, John Carrots.
Yep, John Carts. Yep.
Carts. Yeah, them guys for being over 50 they can ride.
Oh my gosh.
It's nuts.
It is nuts. And it's unbelievable. Like John Carts, I know John and his son Zach. Zach was supposed to be on Team Motozili this year.
Okay, yeah.
And some things got in the way of that. But regardless, John and Zach are in really good shape.
Yeah.
I don't like being next to John, which is the dad, with both of our shirts off. He's over 50. I'm 40.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
It's this maybe.
But if you're still doing these 2 hours and you're over 50 years old, and these guys some of them are in their late 50s, I think it's nuts.
Yeah, because there's did you get through the top 5? Yep.
Yeah.
So there is Masters, 60 plus. So, yeah, here we go. And how many people rode? 6? 6 people. 6 people in plus 60, which blows my mind. Norm Into was the winner. Second place was Tim Cohen. Third place, Don Salvadori.
I'll take
Salvadori. Excuse me. Fourth, Lee Steer. And fifth place was Mike Lewis.
Are we moving right to Senior A, 40 plus?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or
do you want to go CBA?
Yeah, let's go. You want to go XC1C? 1C? Oh, you mean, okay, yeah. Let's go Senior C, 40 plus.
Yep.
Okay.
This is you, right?
Yeah, I'm clicking on it, and it's, okay, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
First, Tim Halstead. Second, Chris Heaver. Third, Gary Shoemaker. Fourth, Jared Tabus.
Yep.
Fifth, Brian Capelli.
Brian Capelli.
Brian Capelli rounding out the top 5.
Where was fifth? I'm trying to find. Oh, there we go. Yep. I know some of these guys in here. Good dudes. Senior B, plus 40. First place went to Greg Kenry. Second place went to Sean Carr. Some of these guys are... Sean Carr, I think, is one of my Facebook friends. Shout out to him. A lot of these guys I don't get to talk to at the races. Obviously, there's probably thousands of people there total. You don't just cross paths with them all the time. But third was Matt Waddell. Fourth place was Preston Behringer. And fifth place was Joshua Zarentz.
That was your Senior B 40 plus.
That's right.
You want to do Senior A 40 plus next?
Yep.
Okay, I'm having trouble with this first name here. Rador.
Rad.
Brad,
So,
you come by me halfway through the race. You were one row behind me. And you come by me halfway through the race like a man on a mission. And
yeah, it was.
I heard you coming, and as soon as you passed me, I was like, well, I'm going to try to stay on his back wheel for a little bit because he's figured something out around here, and he's got a pace going. And, like, 3 turns, you're just gone. Like, you were freaking moving.
Yeah, but you also had a bum wrist. And nobody likes excuses.
No, we're not blaming injuries, but...
Yeah, well, I know that, like, if I was in your shoes and I had a bum wrist, I wouldn't even, like, want to bring it up. But I know that you had your stuff all taped up, and, I'm not saying that maybe even if your wrist was good, but regardless, I was
feeling it.
Dude, like I said, I loved the track, and I was having fun, and I was on a mission. I felt pressure, and I never let that pressure go from behind me, regardless if that person was there or not. Like early in the race, people were right there early in the race, and whether it was someone, sometimes I'll pass someone, and if they're trying to latch on, I'll kind of forget about the noise behind me. And then if that same person has latched for a little bit, you start to wonder, is this someone that's pacing me in my class, or is this the dude I just passed?
Right.
So like I rode that whole race with pressure from behind, regardless if it was there or not.
Yeah, and it kind of pushes you, and
Yeah.
you were rolling. We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
But you were rolling.
Thanks, man.
Second, Mark McGrath. Third, John Bittner.
Yep.
Fourth, Dave Patterson. And fifth, Brett Bensel.
I have Belsol.
Belsel?
Yeah.
Belsel.
Looks like it. And shout out to all these dudes because I've mixed it up for the first time. This is my first year in this class. I've mixed it up with these guys, and they are great riders. I mean, like, I stayed behind them for a little bit, and I was impressed.
Yeah, for being the fifth row, I mean, those guys are moving up into the fourth, third, and second row, and it's like there's a big mix in the second, third, fourth, and now fifth row, like with the caliber of riders it is. And we'll talk about that in just a time. Like I had some questions about that guys were talking about on the line, but we can get into that later or whatever. But
try to get that mic a little more square to your. There you go.
Yeah, it keeps drifting a little bit.
Yeah, that mic stand. Maybe I have to replace that one.
So where were we? That was
plus 40A. So we covered Master 60, we covered Senior 50, and ABC 40. So now we're going to go to Super. Wait.
We got to get all the Vet 30-plus classes unless.
Well, we can't forget Super Senior 50-plus, but there's Advanced Senior 50-plus A. So, okay, I see.
I think we did that first, right?
Super Senior?
We did Advanced Senior.
Advanced, yeah.
Yes, we didn't do Super Senior.
Let's get Super Senior done.
Okay.
So we are at Mike Muncy, first place. Second place was Rick Brown. Third place was Davey Ash. Fourth place was Jason Watson. And fifth place was John Hudak. The Hudaks, great family. Bunch of them.
Yeah.
Riders, good riders. And where do you want to go? Vet C?
Let's do it.
All right, it's all you.
Vet C, 30-plus. First, Brock Harrison. Second, Brandon Green. Third, Luke Simmons. Fourth, Chuck Myers. And fifth, David Scheckler. That's how they all should be. Those were all easy names. Oh, my God.
Yeah, right?
Awesome.
All right.
That was Vet C.
All right, Vet B, 30-plus. We are looking at Mike Funk. That's a familiar name. Second place was Timmy Cohen. Third place, Tom Fiskus. Fourth, Justin Seacrest. He's on Team Moto Zealy. Shout out. Shameless shout out. And Adam Clark, top 5.
Nice. Okay, moving to Vet A, 30-plus, and they were on the third row. Right? Because
I believe so.
Yeah, second, I think. Well, the first row was XC Pro, and they mixed them up. Second, it was 2A.
Oh, yeah.
2A, Vet A, then XC1A. But
yeah,
these are some familiar names here. Sam Williams with the win.
Yep.
Second, Cody Calkins. Third, Chad Tallman. Fourth, Robbie Risden.
Yep.
And fifth, Rodney Kale. I've rode a lot with Rodney Kale over the years. He was an XC1A rider, and he's always been a good dude.
And you know what? All these dudes, too, are blazing fast.
Oh, yeah.
And and I said this before, these results will change because these guys, depending on the track, depending on conditions, depending on whatever, you'll see these names change. I mean, Sam's real consistent. He's a fast dude.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys are former XC1A riders and could ride the XC1A class. That's why they're mixing these rows up because there's so much talent. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
And who else did we say? And then I don't know Cody Calkins, but I wanted to shout out to Tallman because Tallman was on like an 04 KX 250 or something.
Oh yeah.
And he had some vintage gear on, and I just thought that would be cool to shout out. He came off the couch, as we say.
Yeah,
he came off the couch and
for a podium, basically. Yeah,
podiumed, awesome. And he was up there in the overall. I don't remember where, but he did well. So that was awesome.
Awesome.
All right, that was Vet A 30-plus. So you want to go to women?
Let's do it.
Is that a class just women? That's all it's called?
Yeah, must be.
Yep. Okay, so it's just smaller. That's all. We only had 2 at this race, but it was Morgan Johnson and Katie McDevitt in second. Morgan won the race, second to Katie. Shout out to the girls. I think that's badass that these girls do this, period.
I mean, I can barely make it 2 hours out there, and then
Yeah.
these females are out there doing it. They're just proving themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go down to, XC2C and work our way up.
Yep.
XC2C with the win, Logan Ward. Second, Tret Bittner. Third, Jack Winters. Fourth, Dylan Rensel.
Yeah.
Runsel.
Rutzel.
Runsel.
Sure. Rutzel.
He knows. Fifth, Mark Hiedelman.
Yep. And you were XC2C, so we're going to go to XC2B. Okay. John Wood in first. Second place was Ryan Alston. Third place was Brock Belsol. Fourth place was Colton Ward. And in fifth, Danny.
You got it.
I'm afraid to say it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Furkuska.
Danny rounded out the top 5 is what we do know. Yeah,
Danny did. Good job, Danny. Nice. So we're going to XC2A. That's all you.
This is a fast class here. Absolutely. George Mason, or Mason George,
Yep.
sorry.
Yep.
Second, Joe Marsh. Third, Matthew Hagenbeck. Fourth, Anthony Burbrick. Fifth, Brad Vincent.
Yeah. Again, you say these names, and I know all these dudes fly.
Yeah, these are guys that, I mean, they get on different bikes. They might have been on a 300 or 450, and they were in, the 1A class, but then they might get on a 250 and run the 2A, and they're just as fast. It's,
It's crazy. And Mason's a young dude.
Yeah, how old is he?
I'm not sure. I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to guess like 16.
Yeah.
17, 18. I don't know. He's young.
He's somebody to keep an eye on.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's tall and skinny. I don't know him well, but I know who he is.
Yeah, he'll be interesting to see
Yeah,
how
he's
he
young.
develops here.
Yeah, he rides his butt off. So that was XC2A. So we're going to go to XC1C. And the winner of XC1C was Skylar Smith with Griffin Wright in second. And last podium spot was Luke Bartow in third. Fourth, Nathan Mitchell. And fifth, Eric Erden.
That was round out your 1C. Okay, moving up to XC1B.
Yep.
With the win, Landon, is it
Beatty? Yep.
Landon Beatty. Second, Dustin Feller. Third, Sean Brooks. Fourth, Devin Rockin Sadich.
Rock
Oh, man, I'm terrible. I'm sorry.
Sandich. Rock Sandich.
Rock Sandich.
Hey, we're just saying it how it looks. So I mean,
Yeah, I'm not trying to offend anybody or
they know
mispronounce.
that. I'm
Yeah.
sure that I'm sure Devin dealt with that his whole life.
Yeah.
It's like my last name is real difficult. Or
Is it or?
right?
Yeah.
Is it or?
And then round out the top 5, Lance Cope.
Yep. Where were we? I got lost.
Yeah, I just clicked back twice. Looks like
XC1B. Are we going to?
No, that's what we just did.
Oh.
Yeah, XC1A.
Oh, we're into XC1A.
Do you know any of these guys?
I know probably all of them.
It's all you.
Buffering here. Here we go. Kevin Coffey with the win. Kevin's tough. I describe Kevin's riding it. He's a bulldog. He's big and aggressive and impressive. Kevin's a fast dude, man. He's tough to beat. And my teammate Jacob Logan was right there. He was right there if Kevin screwed up, man. I think he finished 30 seconds behind him.
Yeah, he was just 30 seconds behind him, and them two guys, they're...
Yeah, what's crazy is if you ride with those dudes, they ride completely different.
Right.
They look so different on the bike. Jake's very smooth and methodical, and just it looks he's got a great like effortless riding style. Although I'm sure he's putting in 100%, 150% effort.
Oh yeah, they're too tough, man. They're just manly riders. I mean, see them guys handle a bike. You know, I'm kind of a bigger guy, but I'm skinnier. These guys are just like they manhandle their bikes on the trail, and they don't make mistakes.
Okay,
these guys.
Another young dude, Nathan Miser, in third. I'm not sure of his age, but I know he's young. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but
I don't know.
He went by me a crow, and he was gone.
Yeah. Fourth was Michael O'Neill, and fifth, Jordan Burkhart. And then you could go down this list. And again, some of these guys that didn't make the top 5 will make the top 5 next round. You know, you're one of these guys.
We can't talk about 6th place. It's
Hey,
only the top 5 we're talking.
Hey, you're here. But, I mean, you just missed it. And, you know, you're a dude that I've seen, you know, on your good days. I'm kind of the same way. You know, like, depending on the day I have, you know, I'll ride good. And then I'm just not, I don't know. But
yeah, the top 5 in this class, you got to minimize mistakes, and
yes,
it's those guys are going to be there towards the end, no matter what. It's like you might think you're up there on the last lap, and them guys are coming.
Tell me if you felt this way. You know, we've all been in the position where we've been on the starting line, and you look to your left and to your right, right? Back in the day, I used to go, those two guys will give me a run.
Right.
There's 10 guys in the class.
Yeah.
Those two dudes will give me a run. When I was riding XC1A, I was like, everyone here can beat me.
Yeah, there's 20 guys, and you look, it's just like you don't even want to look to your left or
I
right.
know,
it's
like, crazy. But it's so exciting, man, because it, like you said, minimizing mistakes, that's what the name of the game is. Like, these guys can ride the same speed. Like the top 10 dudes in XC1A. I see some names lower down in the top 10 that like these dudes, I know they're fast. I know they have crazy amount of speed, but it might have been like they might have got held up in a mud hole for 30 seconds and it might have put them in 7th.
Oh yeah, that's all it takes.
Yeah, it's insane.
And 3 guys will go by you and you got to collect yourself, and it's just like,
yeah,
you got to get back.
That can mentally just destroy you too. Like the one race I screwed up and went down, and the whole class went by me.
Yeah.
And it's hard to recover from mentally. Like, I have to work back through that. And these dudes don't mess up.
Right.
So, like, you have to say, okay, gather your thoughts, get your heart rate back down, you know, and then start to try to put your race back together.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, back when we were riding maybe B or something like that. It's like you could do that and recover by the end of the race, but it's like you make a major mistake, it's like these guys, they're not waiting up for you, you know?
No.
They're running the checker flag, and it's like, yeah, that's a problem I've had, minimizing mistakes, and it's just little ones here and there that used to not matter in B or whatever, and then this class here, it's like, hey,
oh, I know, man.
Doesn't matter.
That's some guys are better than others at minimizing mistakes, and you know something that we'll get into. Well, let's talk about. Let's get that last class out of the way. We got our top 5 there done. We're gonna go to XC Pro. Am I right?
Yep, that would be row 1.
And I think we covered everybody else. So XC Pro. This is this you or me?
You go ahead and take it.
Okay, Dakota DeVore, first place. Dakota is a guy that I watched move up through the ranks very young when he started, and obviously the family takes it real serious, and he's doing the national circuit.
Yes.
And obviously, you know, proving himself locally to be definitely one of the top dudes to be beat. So good job on your ride, Dakota. Second place was Mason Atherton. Third place, Scott Grills. Now, these dudes we've all heard of 1,000 times. Fourth place was Tyler Soriano, and fifth was Michael Pillar. I know all these dudes blazing fast too. This whole class is insane fast.
Yeah, if you're on a bike, you know all these guys, and they kind of separate themselves from the pack, and it's hard to fathom how fast they're going. The pace that they're running, it's nuts.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, we could make all the excuses we want in the world, but the bottom line is they just go fast.
The whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. Whether it's being in good shape or being efficient on the bike or whatever, I'm done with this computer, so we can get to chewing the fat here. So, those guys do. I've often wondered, I'm a little bit up there in age. I don't have any unrealistic expectations of myself.
Right.
I know where I stand, and I know that I'm close to my ceiling as far as speed goes, or as far as I'm willing to go, because I'm capable of going faster. But
right.
I'm scared because, that's the bottom line, dude. Fear just puts me in my place.
Yeah. And I've wanted to talk about this. It's like, we got to go to work on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of these guys that do have, in the XC Pro that have sponsors, and they're some of these guys might be trying to make it for a living what they're doing, and which I'm not making any excuses. It's like, I'm not saying I could run that XC Pro class, but
right.
A lot of the guys after the first row, it's like we have a mutual respect knowing that we got to go back to work on Monday, and we might have a family to support, and it's I think that's kind of known through each other out there. And stuff.
I think that it is kind of known and should be known. It should be, but sometimes you wonder.
Probably about me, because I'm out there hanging it out, and you see me hit a tree, and you're like, yeah, he probably doesn't care about going to work on Monday, but
yeah. You ride loose, but it's cool.
I do.
And I envy that, because everybody that I'm around, everyone I'm around, I watch their style.
Right.
And I'll be like, you seem to be cool with the back end being loose. Yeah,
a lot of throttle, I guess.
It's let's talk about throttle. You run a flipping thumb throttle, dude. You're the fastest guy I know on the planet that runs a thumb throttle on a dirt bike.
Well, if you want precision throttle control, you got to put a thumb on your dirt bike. And
hey, man, I don't know, because I never tried it. But the first time I saw that, I was like, what in the heck?
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but I raced quads for 10 years before I've raced bikes. I didn't start racing bikes till 2015, I think it was. So I've only been on bikes for 6 years, and I remember getting a dirt bike, and I could not figure out what a thumb throttle even was. I never rode motorcycles or anything, so a twist throttle was just like, I could not get the hang of it. And I was like, let's just try to throw a thumb throttle on this thing and see if it works. And I just rode a lot better, and ever since I've, every time I get a new bike, that's the first thing I do is I put a thumb throttle on it, which
crazy.
It's dumb, but it.
Hey,
it's kind of
maybe it's not dumb. I mean, you ride fast.
It kind of works for me, but then I don't know. It does okay, I guess. But yeah,
that's cool. I mean, it's got to be kind of like a statement thing. I don't know. Not that it's intentional, but people see that and they have to be like, "That's that dude with the thumb throttle." Who's, you know what I mean? When people start asking who you are, he's the dude with the thumb throttle.
They're like, he must have another broken wrist because he can't twist the throttle or something. But yeah, it's just.
Are my Crocs going to end up in the shot?
Oh, man.
I wanted everyone to think I was wearing work boots all the time, but you know what? I was in and out of the house, and I was like, I'm not taking. My old lady will chop me up if I go in there with my boots on. So,
dude, it don't bother me. They're camo. I can barely see them.
Right, but yeah, that's super cool. But no, about riding style, I ride, like I said, I've been around Kevin in the woods. I've been around Jake in the woods. I've been around you in the woods. And I take a little bit away from everything. And I'm like, I'll try that. I told Jake, one day we went out practicing. And I said, I rode behind you. And my goal was to see if I could yo-yo. See if I can, take your lines, stay with you, and then take my lines or whatever. And we we would yo-yo. You know, like I would do my way, and I'd push as hard as I could to get back up on him, and then I'd try something different, and he would gap me more. Whether or not we were both pushing 100% or not, I don't know. But we were out there to practice, so we were pushing pretty good. I know by the pace we were running, I know that we were both pushing pretty good. And when I try to ride like Jake, I can't ride. Like it's just his style.
Right.
If I tried to ride like you, I would be a mess. It just works. Like
it's what works for the individual.
Yeah.
And yeah, which I've rode with you and Jake a bunch too, whether it was free riding or even we just wind up at a local race or something and we're all three together.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so much fun too. But at the same time, it's like, we're just pushing trail riding basically is what it feels like.
Right.
And yeah.
And that's when if you can kind of get it out of your head that you're racing, which doesn't really make sense.
No.
But if you can kind of just be like, we're just riding. Because I'll tell myself that to calm down.
Right.
Like to keep me from making mistakes. Like, because when you're racing, sometimes you'll put more pressure on yourself in your head mentally. Like, I'll be behind people, like you said, if we're together and clicking, I'll be like, just do this for a while. Just do this and get in a groove.
Yep.
And then if you end up faster, make a pass. If one of them end up faster, they'll peel away. Maybe you can allow them to pull you. And that's a thing as well. Like,
yeah, like when you get a guy that you think's faster in front of you, like if I get Kevin or Jake, or even if I'm riding with you, like you're in front of me, I just want to latch onto the back and be like, let's learn what he's doing, what's working for him. He came by me, he's running this pace, and you try to pick up some stuff on the guy that's as fast or faster than you, and that's sometimes smarter rather than just trying to pass the guy right back, and that might not work out so well. And I think, for myself, I ride better. Those guys like Jake, and they pick such good lines and stuff. I'm better off just to try to follow these guys, because
And that's where we could talk about race IQ, and that's something that I don't have.
Mine's so low.
Yeah, it's very low. People will be like, "Hey, do you remember on the south side of the property when you're going on this elevation down here?" I'm like, they don't literally talk like that, but that's the way. I'm like, how do you know exactly where you were on the property? How do you have that much situational awareness?
I know.
When you're going 40 miles an hour between trees.
I walk the track and I forget the track.
I know. Dude, I'm the same way. It's terrible. I'll be like, oh, that's a great line. And you try to remember it, and during the race, you're like,
yeah,
where did it go? Yeah, but that is, I said that too, we could all go out and ride together somewhere if we had a small loop, and we wouldn't know who's the fastest.
Right.
But when you put us on a 8-mile track, and then the track gets wide, and you have decisions to make,
it's constant decision making.
Yes.
And it's one wrong decision can set you back 30 seconds or a minute. If you blow a turn, or if you just hit a bad rut and go down or something. That's all it takes, and it's concentration for 2 hours, and that's what.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I tell people that it is just as much mentally exhausting as it is physically. Especially early in the year. When I'm done with the race early in the year, I just want to take a nap. I'm like, my brain is fried.
There's one thing. There's nothing going through your head besides concentrating on the track. It shuts your mind off from the rest of the world for 2 hours, and it's actually pretty good,
Yes.
To get away from reality and just ride for 2 hours. And then the faster you ride, the more you're trying to concentrate, and it's actually a good thing, I think.
I told Allison that. I tried describing that to her. I said it's kind of like you're in another dimension. It's kind of like nothing else exists.
Yeah.
But I said that's when I'm riding good. Now, I had that at this last race. I had focus. I have a brain that normally can't focus well. So there's been races where I'm like, I'm hungry. Or, man, I can't wait to get a beer after the race.
A beer after the race.
Dude, do you think about that?
When the white flag comes out?
It's beer time, dude. You're just like, let's get to the beer. Fastest dude to the beer wins.
That's motivation for me.
I'm telling you. It's... But I have a hard time focusing, and when I do focus well, and when I do shut everything else out, and I'm riding the track, my focus is the track, is the arrows, is the next turn. That's when I ride good. And I think a lot of people just do that every time.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. No, low race IQ. For whatever reason, man. Maybe I was born with it. Maybe I didn't work on it enough over the years. I don't know.
Maybe that's how everybody feels, and you think it's just you, but
I don't know.
yeah.
I feel pretty dumb sometimes. Where like, have you ever blown by a good line the whole race, and finally you're like, you took it at the end, and you're like, that was 4 seconds a lap.
The last lap, you'll see it, and you'll finally take it, and you're like, man, that saved energy, that saved time, and why wasn't I doing? But yeah, these mentally tough guys will take that line second lap, or they see it,
or they'll create it.
Oh yeah, or they'll create it, yeah, and that's what makes the difference. But
yeah, it's unreal. This is the best part about this podcast, is talking to different people and getting different perspectives as far as, what goes through their head. So let's talk about what you do. This is always interesting. Do you have any race day or the night before meals, or like what's your routine? Because I'm like really crazy about
like
my
rituals,
routine. Like food you eat the night before, like how much sleep. Like sometimes people don't care about sleep as much, but
that's important.
Like all that stuff.
Yeah.
What do you like to do?
Well, I'm getting better at it. I used to, I don't drink beer the night before now. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
I try to load carbs the night before. My girlfriend will cook me, a steak, and she'll try to throw vegetables in there, potatoes and stuff, and just build carbs and get a good night's sleep. And yeah, I don't know.
What about the day of? Like, do you take anything, like any Pedialyte or?
No. I drink a lot of water, and hydration to me is like, the more hydrated I am, the better I'm gonna ride. The less I'm gonna screw up. And like I took that for granted in my like early 20s and stuff. I just thought that didn't matter, and I would drink beer the night before, and then I wouldn't hydrate, and I was just like, I don't need that. I guess beer. Well, that doesn't work. And hydration, eating healthy, and I don't know, getting a good coffee before the race. I know you're a coffee drinker too.
Dude,
waking up. Like a nice sunny day, EROC on a Sunday, that's Christmas morning, is it not?
Dude. Oh, dude.
You can barely fall asleep. You get up, you're like, let's get this coffee. The sun's coming up. It's not going to be a mutter. Some guys like mutters, but not. I don't think we do.
Count me out. I'm fair weather all the way, dude.
It's Christmas morning.
Yeah, it is. And I just said this the last podcast. Like when you pull in the smell, the sights, the smells, the sounds, it is...
It's hard to describe. You have to be there.
You do have to be there. And for people that are interested in it, interested in checking it out, interested in maybe racing or like spectating, I'd like to hear their feedback. Like, hey, we went to our first race and this is how we felt. But when you pull in, it smells a certain way. You got race gas, you got two-stroke gas burning, and it sounds a certain way with the announcers. It just, another shout out to EROC, dude. Like having those big announcing speakers and music playing and names going through there and organization reasons. For organization reasons, this class should be lining up, or this we're running 20 minutes behind, or
right.
That stuff is key, and I think a lot of people appreciate that.
Yeah, I showed up at Crow. I camped the night before, and they're just playing good music, good classic rock and stuff, and their environment, everybody's camping and stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, I need to. We talked about camping a couple times, but
there's more and more people, because I've camped the last few years at EROC, and they're just more and more people camping, showing up, and they know you want to get there early. There's so many people showing up to these, these locations we're having them, and they're getting packed out, especially the last one.
They're starting to open sign up a little bit the night before, which helps. Anybody that knows me knows I get there real early.
Yeah.
I show up super early. I hate scrambling, no pun. I hate just that like, I'm 2 seconds late for everything. I hate that. So, like you said, I get there with my coffee. I'm sipping it, walking around. I'm like a real relaxed thing. I go sign up, and everything's just nice and easy going for my morning. And now being on Team Moto Zealy, obviously, I want to make sure everything's perfect. Make sure that everything's tight and right. And everybody now has a little bit more responsibility to hold themselves accountable to be good and represent that shop well.
Yeah, you're representing a company. I think you guys are doing an awesome job of it, and that's one of the premier teams now. And it's just it's awesome to see the teams and the tents. It's almost like a pro pits area.
Yeah.
And hopefully that just keeps growing. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we're poking, and we're hoping that, like, it's friendly rivalries. Like the guys on like AES or from Beaver Creek Cycle or something. Like we come across this dude, like Vinny Petrella was going by. I don't know if he was walking or if he was on his bike, but he was eyeing all the teammates up, and he was doing this. Like that stuff's hilarious to me.
Right.
And it's so much fun. And I'm hoping, I said before, like there's so many local shops. If you are a EROC guy and there is a local shop to you, and this sounds cool to you, just go talk to them and be like, hey, let's put a program together. And you know what? If you want help with that, call me, message me, inbox me, and I could tell you sort of, like give you like an outline of how we're doing business, which is I don't think it's secret or anything. Not that anybody needs to know our deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know if the shop is comfortable with that. But I could just say, like, you roughly want to try to achieve this through that shop, and it works for the shop and it works for the rider.
Right. It's going hand in hand. They're both helping each other out.
Yeah. And I think that it would be super awesome to have more shops, more people with more shop tents out there.
Yeah. That's what the sport's all about, really.
Yeah. And it, like you said, it makes it look so pro. And I mean, you're handpicking the best guys you can.
It's kind of like separating itself, even though it is a local series. It's kind of like separating itself now that more and more people showing up. It doesn't feel like a local series, even though, for me, all the races are within an hour from my house, which is just awesome.
Yeah, you're in a good spot.
Oh, it's just like every race, like the last one, it was 40 minutes, and it's just like, yeah, this is one of the, for me, it's one of my biggest races of the year, and I only got to drive 40 minutes to it. And if you do that national circuit, it's taking off work maybe or driving out of state and all that stuff. But this series just, for me, it fits me so good. But
yeah, and to go back, touch on what you were saying about it feeling bigger than it is. I mean, it is bigger. It's just blown up so much over the last year. Like
I talked to Tom Coffey. He's just like, he's almost scared, I think, of how big it's getting. Jeff and Tom.
Yeah.
And just a big shout out to these guys. They were on the first podcast, and what they do, Crow Canyon, I see Tom coming down the hill on a four-wheeler, chainsaw on the front end, sweating his ass off, moving banners, clearing, like, who does all the track, setting up the track, clearing the track? These guys. And whenever I see these guys, it's like, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate these guys so much. And I think a lot of people think you just show up and the arrows are there and you race Sundays, but it's like, dude, these tracks are getting longer. The first track was 8 miles, I think, and it's like a lot goes into that. And I kind of realize that because I've cut trails before, and to cut trails in a hot, muggy woods, moving big logs, or just setting up banners or arrows, it's like it's hard work, and somebody's doing it.
And yeah, I think a lot of people don't fully understand that. They're like, okay, these guys go set up a track and they get all this money and they're rich. But, first of all, I don't think it's that way by any stretch of the means. These guys put in weeks. They don't go there the night before and set it up. They put in weeks. They have so much equipment. They have multiple trailers that they haul. They have, I don't know how many employees that show up, that they have to orchestrate so many things. There's so many moving components. And as this, I'm going to say, like, as the circus grows, and I'm not saying that to make fun of anything, but like as that grows, as the unit grows, there's more you have to maintain, more you are accountable for. And could you imagine just the logistics? Like, hey, make sure that all these people show up to work. Make sure you have contingency plans for if something critical goes down.
Right.
There's so many things going on. The website, the trailers, the trucks, the fuel, the speakers, the arrows.
Transponders and getting everybody's times right.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot that goes into it, and I'm starting to realize it more. I don't even know but it almost makes me want to help these guys, because I see these guys out here. They're weed eating the fence lines. They're just doing stuff to clean the place up. So me and you can go ahead. Well, I mean, you help a lot too. You're part of it, but so the normal person can have a good weekend, and people don't realize that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it is, in a nutshell, what we're getting at. It just exploded. It didn't blow up. I mean, it just unbelievable turnouts. 364 big bikes.
Yeah.
Last year, I think before this year, I think the big number was 230.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. I remember hit 175 and this might have been at the beginning of last year or 2 years ago, and everybody was like, there's 175 riders here. We show up this year, there's double that. It's
oh my
that is
gosh.
nuts.
Yeah.
But
yeah, my some people are secretive about their rituals, but I was going to tell you in response to what you do. I do the same thing. I cook a steak and pasta. That's my deal.
Okay, yeah.
Whether it works or not, everybody's got mixed opinions of carb loading and all that, but I do like steak and pasta. Do you need an excuse to cook a good steak? No, but this is
sounds
one.
like it to me, yeah.
And then the day of, dude, it's crazy. I take a children's aspirin so the heart doesn't go, and I make sure I have 2 nose strips. I don't just.
I've always seen you wearing those, and I've always wondered. I'm like, maybe I should try that.
Yeah, dude, this little tiny breather just doesn't get it done.
No,
it's just and one of my septums is messed up.
Yeah, it just opens up your nasal passage.
It helps a little. Yeah, I should say it helps a lot.
Yeah,
but I still can't breathe through my nose well. So 2 nasal strips. I have all these little things I got to make sure.
Yeah.
Make sure of. I jog. People see me jog, and a lot of my buddies.
Oh, do you at the race?
Yeah, at the race.
I don't know if I've ever seen you jog, but
I try to make it look like I'm just going to the urinal or something.
Yeah.
I used to bring running shoes and stuff, but I like to go for a jog because my joints and everything are achy in the mornings.
Just to kind of get loosened up.
Just to get loosened up, and I stretch. I'm diligent about warming up and stretching my body out, and you'll see me on the line. I never stop moving. Never.
Stretching's so important.
Shoulders, constantly. Wrists. My wrists always bother me. I'm always doing wrist rotations and squeezing, getting everything loose.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do have rituals just like you that you just do every race. I don't even think about it. But yeah, it's just stretching, all that kind of stuff.
Some people think that that's top secret. I think we all know kind of, basically, here's your options to choose from. We basically all know, hydrate. People know that you should hydrate.
Yeah.
It's very important. Some people were like, I drink pickle juice the night before. I drink, 1 cup of pickle juice. It's because, okay, we get it because it's salt, and salt, helps you hold water.
Right.
But yeah, people have little tricks, and sometimes they don't like to talk about them. And it's hilarious,
Oh, yeah.
But I love that stuff. I love getting in people's heads and finding out what makes them tick or what makes them, I said before, we're going to have one of the big sponsors, the title sponsor, the biggest sponsor actually, Wassenaar Pistons of the EROC series, Ralph. He's my point of contact because he's also a sponsor for Team MotoZili.
Right.
He's going to be on one of these shows, and it's going to be cool, because we can just talk about tech stuff.
Right.
Pistons and I was picking his brain a little bit over the phone about, his opinion on different lubrications of engines, and I love nerding out on stuff like that, man.
Yeah, you don't want to ask me how to set a bike up because I just buy one and run it.
Oh, well, dude.
But yeah, hopefully he's, it's an education where people can learn some stuff and, bike setup and what they do and all that stuff.
I'm hoping to have, Corey from ProTune. He's our suspension guy. I'm hoping to have some guys on because I have questions for those dudes too.
Yeah.
Suspension, I know just enough to move my settings enough to where I notice it and I can make the bike feel like I want it.
Right.
But I don't know everything. I want to know more. I want to learn more. So But again, Cyle Strouble was the guest is the guest today, and I wanted to ask you because you have a business, and I'm trying to focus on this whole thing is people supporting one another.
Right.
So it's really cool to have people on that are, is it a family business that you are in?
Yeah, family business. My parents own it. And
Okay.
Me and my little brother. It's like the four of us, and then like we all kind of help run it, and it's crazy busy right now. May and June's always our busiest months, and like me and my little brother both worked over 70 hours last week, and it's like,
Oh my gosh.
it's Monday through Saturday, and I'm like, Dad, I get Sundays off. That's when I go racing, and that's my day off to race, and it's whenever the weather's warm. Yeah, pretty much May, June, July. It's just
What's the
crazy
business?
busy.
What do you guys do?
The main thing right now is water hauling. We fill swimming pools. We have a lot of tankers, but we do all kinds of stuff. It's a trucking company.
Okay.
And we have dump trailers, so we haul sand and gravel, all that kind of stuff. We haul grain for the farmers, corn, soybeans, stuff like that.
Nice.
Just pretty much anything you can haul. But yeah, these are wintertime. It's not so busy, but you can't really ride much around here during the winter, which sucks.
Yeah, I know. That'd be
Yeah.
nice if you did slow
I wish
down.
it was. I wish it was opposite so bad. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's try to get all the work done Monday through Saturday and get off and get to the track to camp or focus on Sunday to race. And it's
Man.
it's chaos. It's busy, but we make it work. And I mean, like we've been blessed to do as well we have for the past. I think it's been in business for 20 plus years, like 21 years or something. So it's been.
As they say, like, what do they say? Make hay when the sun shines or something?
You're exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same thing. You got to get it in because your
Yeah.
business slows down when it gets cold.
Yeah, if you don't take the work, somebody else is going to take it, and it's
And what's the business? It's Strouble something?
Strouble water hauling and trucking.
And trucking?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a transportation business.
Cool.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when Ralph comes on, we're going to talk about Wassenaar Pistons. And, it's good to have guests on here. And it's pretty crazy how available, or I don't know how to word this, but like there's a lot of people that are tied into businesses, which is really cool. So it's, it gets your name out there, whether it will help you or not in your specific field, being in front of all these dirt bike people, who knows? But it's pretty cool to give a shout out to that business. So, like I said, Ralph will be on here, and I just started poking around. I was trying to learn a little bit about Jessica, who I want to have on the show, the XC. I think she was XC1A.
1A rider, yeah.
Yeah,
women's rider.
on the quad. So I was trying to learn a little about her, and I got on her Facebook, and it looked like she owns a business. And I was like, oh my gosh, so that's awesome. And who else? And then when we get into regular podcast stuff, when I'm not doing just EROC stuff, it'll be focused on. I know a lot of people that own businesses, so we could talk.
Yeah, and a lot of them sponsor the series, and I've talked to my parents about maybe trying to get on a sponsorship for EROC next year. I mean, there's 20 plus people or companies sponsoring the series, and it just helps out all the more. And it'd be awesome to get on that. Yeah,
one this year, a last minute one. My buddy Joel Yonkins, he was on the last podcast training. He has a training facility, and he works with some pros, some pro motocross and supercross and athletes in general. Joel Yonkins training. He was on here, so it's cool. And like I said earlier, when you first came up, man, this is a different seating arrangement, and I'm moving stuff around, and I'm constantly messing with gear and equipment, and I'm figuring things out as I go. But
it's just like setting up a bike. It's going to get better the more you ride it.
Yeah.
I think this thing you're doing is awesome. It's creating awareness. When people have questions, and like you've said, like, can't they send their questions into your inbox on Facebook and stuff? And, just to learn more about the series and what it, like what's it about and everything. But
yeah, I mean, anytime anybody has any questions or advice, what you get when you start doing something like this, you do get a whole bunch of people that say, what you should do? You know what you should do? You know what you should do? And I take constructive criticism very well.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I sometimes I'm like, I'm on it. It's on the list. You know, it's a thing that I am aware of. But at the same time,
It's not as easy as it looks.
it's not as easy as it looks. And it just, time-wise, you know,
Yeah.
like juggling the family and racing and work and just, you know, blah, 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 blah. It all adds up, and it's how much time I could actually dedicate to this. It gets tough.
Right.
That's all. But
It's planning, and like you take care of it all. It's like I just got to show up, you know.
yeah,
And it's just like, yeah, you got to plan it, set all the gear up and stuff, and yeah, it's a lot.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Anything else you want to talk about?
I'm good if you're good, man.
Cool.
Don't
Well,
matter.
Like I said, Kyle Strouble, and I appreciate you coming on, man. Like I said, we became friends at the track, and you know, I think we respect each other on the track, and we've had some awesome races, man.
Oh, yeah.
Those races I will never forget my whole life. Those motocross country. I'm not going to get too much into it because it's not here this year.
I know those were my favorite though, but Hair Scramble's awesome too.
Yeah, no doubt. But I'm telling you what, man, that was so exciting. Me and Jake had races like that back when we raced together. When I first came back into racing, and I still can't remember when he came back in, or if he was in a few years before that, or how it worked out. But I just got back into racing, and we met at Lightning because I was like, I didn't know where I was as far as the finish. I was looking at the overall. He was standing right next to me, and I was like, who's Jacob Logan? And he looks over and he goes, that's me. And I went, oh, hey, man. And that's how we met. And we became good friends. And
It's crazy how that works, how you can just meet somebody at the track and then, you know, just by mentioning or just crossing paths, then you're like best, you know, good friends with them.
Oh, yeah.
Years down the road. And it's pretty important, I think. Like some people at the track, they're kind of shy to talk to people, but like I encourage, especially the younger guys and stuff, like just the people that you're pit next to, just go talk to them.
Yeah.
Ask them questions about their bikes. You know, I think everybody's pretty laid back at these hair scrambles, and it's like they're willing to talk to you or pull up on the starting line, pull up next to a guy, and just talk to him.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it that much more fun to show up to a race and have friends and know people.
Absolutely. And you know, and just know that people have your back. Because like you said about, and I've said this before about the sport, that atmosphere that in this sport, when you show up, like there are some people there that aren't the best people in the world, but they are so few and far between.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many good people there. Like, people were comfortable walking up to someone's trailer and being like, do you have a tube?
Oh, yeah.
And most people just throw you one and be like, keep it. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's not like that in the rest of the world. You know, to be quite honest with you, the world's pretty ugly right now.
Yeah.
And when I go there on the weekend, it is like another planet.
It's refreshing.
It's so refreshing.
It feels like you're back in time, and it's just everybody. It's like, I don't know. I mean, one of my best friends through racing, I literally, 5 years ago, his name's Brad Gray. He's a Vet A rider. I pull up next to him on the line, and we just start talking. And I didn't know him. He lives an hour and a half from me. And next thing you know, we meet at every race. Like, we pit together. And if he needs help loading his bike, if he gets hurt, or if I get hurt, it's like we have each other's back. And I think that's pretty important, you know, like for the guys that's showing up to the race with nobody. Obviously, like the medics and stuff will help you out if you get hurt. But to have a sense of community and people that have your back, like you said, or, you know, can help you out it's pretty important. And it makes it just makes it all the sweeter if you show up knowing friends are going to be there and meeting your friends and talking to people. I mean, so I was saying, just like I encourage the younger guys or in the back rows and stuff, just pull up next to somebody on the starting line and just start talking with them, you know?
Yeah, and this is something I repeat a lot too, as far as the younger guys go. It is important to talk to people because these young people are not good at face-to-face interaction.
Yeah, you can't text somebody next to you on the line.
Yeah, like, hey, don't get on their Facebook as you're sitting next to them and wish them good luck. Man.
Right.
You know, it's I can't stress it enough how important it is for everybody to interact face-to-face And I know as far as raising my daughter, man, she will be raised like we are adamant about limiting, like, she's not at the age where we have to worry about it yet.
Right.
But we talk about it like how it's going to be.
Social media and the text.
Oh, dude.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 10 years younger than you, but I just missed it. You know, I didn't have that big social media in high school and stuff. But these kids these days, it's tough. Yeah. And it reduces face-to-face interaction, which is real. You know, that's, that online stuff.
Did you see that movie?
Or is it Social Dilemma, the
Yes.
documentary? I read your
Documentary.
mind.
You did.
I knew what you were thinking
Dude,
of.
did you watch that?
Oh, yeah. That's mind-blowing. And it
All
makes
young
total
kids
sense.
need to watch that.
Yeah.
The Social Dilemma is what it's called. And it is so true. And here's the thing. I talked to Allison about this too. It's uncomfortable to admit that you're addicted to something, that you're an addict.
Right.
But most of America, most of the world is addicted heavily, extremely addicted to their phones.
Yeah, I got it sitting in my lap right here. You know?
Yeah. And you know what's messed up, man, is like, I don't even think people realize anymore how many times a day their brain thinks about connecting to the phone.
Right.
But it's probably multiple times in a minute, you probably think about connecting to your phone. I don't know, once every 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's insane. And the reason I know that's because I've experienced it. I've gotten to the point, and I'm ashamed to admit this, but I'm willing. I've gotten to the point to where I was like, I'm going to check to see if I got a message from so-and-so, or I'm going to check Facebook, and I would go through a routine, like I'm going to check my email. I'm going to check Facebook to see what's going on. And so then I made rules for myself. I quit scrolling. So I'll check my notifications, I'll check my inbox, but I won't scroll. I don't use the news feed because, like I said, it gets it can be nasty, and
most of it's negative, and it's just yeah, it's not good. Put your phone down and go ride your dirt bike. That should be the message.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, so in a nutshell, because like I said, we could easily have a 4-hour podcast.
Oh god,
yeah. And maybe one day we'll do a long one and just clear the fridge out. But today, man, let's wrap it up with that message. Put your phone down, talk to people, say hi, come out to an EROC race, build a team.
Meet new friends, meet new people at these races.
Yeah.
Way better that way.
And it's a good time. So we covered the results. Good job on everybody. And where's round 3? Oh, Area 330, right?
In June. Yeah, it's not till another couple weeks.
So 3 weeks, I think.
3 weeks.
Another 3 weeks, because, yep.
Yeah, I'm excited
It was
for
a
that.
month.
I'm excited.
So Area 330 is round 3, and that's in 3 weeks. I can't remember the date, but erocracing.com. Check that out if you want to check the schedule. They also have their Facebook and stuff. So we'll catch everybody at round 3.
Thanks so much for having me, dude. It's an honor to do this. Thanks.
Absolutely.